Good evening and welcome to Court Report, where we give a rundown of important judgments handed down in our superior courts during the past month. In Adonisi versus Minister of Transport and Public Works, Western Cape, the Western Cape government decided to sell well-located state land in the heart of Sea Point, the old Tafelberg school site, to cover a shortfall in an office development. Residents opposed the sale, arguing the state was constitutionally obliged to use such property for affordable housing rather than sell it for profit. The High Court set the sale aside. The Supreme Court of Appeal reversed that and holding that neither the Constitution nor housing legislation obliged the state to provide social housing at any particular location. On appeal, the Constitutional Court unanimously declared the sale unlawful, holding that where an affordable housing is built matters as much as whether it is built at all, and redefining the principle of constitutional subsidiarity. The province and the city of Cape Town must now report to the High Court on concrete affordable housing measures for the CBD and Sea Point, and the province must pay the costs. In Minister of Police versus Kadema, a sales manager was arrested in the departures lounge at King Shaka International Airport on an old fraud warrant linked to her lost identity document, which someone else had misused. It was a case of mistaken identity, yet she was detained for 10 days in appalling conditions. She was awarded damages with interest from the date of summons. The Supreme Court of Appeal reduced the award, but again ran interest from summons, interest that would far exceed the capital. The minister took only the interest question further on appeal. The Constitutional Court held that general damages are assessed when the trial court gives judgment, not at the date of the delict, and that Section 2A5 of the Prescribed Rate of Interest Act gives the court a discretion over both rate and commencement date. The plaintiff keeps her reward, but interest runs only from the trial court's judgment. In City of Johannesburg Metropolitan Municipality versus Bantham, a group moved onto municipal land in Robbie Ridge, earmarked for housing, and erected shacks claiming it had been promised to the community. After the city's contractors removed the structures, the occupiers obtained an urgent spoliation order and an interdict against further demolitions from the High Court. The Supreme Court of Appeal set those orders aside. The applicants bore the onus of proving both standing and the factual basis for relief. Yet their papers showed virtually nothing about who possessed what. The High Court had impermissibly compiled its own list of beneficiaries to cure the deficiencies. Those who claim the protection of the law must establish their claims through sufficient and admissible evidence. In De Bruin versus the Master of the High Court Pretoria, a widow lodged a maintenance claim against her late husband's estate under the Maintenance of Surviving Spouses Act. Her need exceeded the entire estate, leaving nothing for the heirs, including the deceased daughter, to whom the will had left the property subject to the widow's usufruct. The daughter objected, without success, before the Master and the High Court. The Supreme Court of Appeal dismissed her appeal. A surviving spouse is not entitled to maintenance merely by reason of the marriage. She must prove she cannot reasonably provide for herself from her own means, and voluntary contributions from adult children do not count. Where the need exceeds the estate, the heirs may be left empty-handed. In Ramden versus Rondebosch Medical Center, a gynecologist held admission privileges at a private hospital under an informal agreement. After he was suspended by the Health Council, the hospital, now under new ownership with a formal admissions policy, refused to reinstate him, and he sought an interdict to enforce the old agreement, arguing a temporary suspension merely paused the contract. The Supreme Court of Appeal disagreed. Under Section 44 of the Health Professions Act, a suspended practitioner's registration is deemed cancelled, and valid registration is a term implied by law in any contract for admission privileges. Once he was legally disqualified from practicing, the contractual foundation fell away and no interdict could revive it. Lungu versus Government of the Republic of Zambia involved the former Zambian president Edgar Lungu, who passed away in a Pretoria hospital. The Zambian government wanted his remains repatriated for a state funeral, while his family, citing his wishes, insisted on a private burial in South Africa. The High Court ordered repatriation on the strength of an agreement allegedly concluded between the family and the government. The Supreme Court of Appeal upheld the family's appeal. On the papers, there were only ongoing negotiations, not a concluded agreement, and absent a clear legal basis, the family's rights to dignity, privacy, and family autonomy could not be overridden. At common law, the decision over a burial rests with the family. Novo Nordisk versus Idexis Compounding Specialists involved a compounding pharmacy that was producing semaglutide, the active ingredient of Ozempic and Wegovy, on a massive scale exceeding the manufacturer's own South African sales, and marketing it directly to the public and doctors. The manufacturer approached the High Court in Pretoria for an interdict, arguing this was large-scale manufacturing of an unregistered medicine, not lawful compounding for individual patients. The court granted an interim interdict. The compounding exemption applies only to the same active ingredient as that in a registered medicine, and a chemically similar substitute is not good enough. The pharmacy must stop compounding and selling the product pending the regulatory investigations. City of Cape Town versus Cape Town Minstrel Carnival Association concerned the Minstrel Association in Cape Town that booked a stadium for its January competitions. The city confirmed the booking provisionally and then withdrew it, citing safety risks. In an urgent judgment, the Western Cape High Court ordered the city to provide a compliant venue, finding its conduct violated constitutionally protected cultural rights. The city sought leave to appeal. Leave was refused. The competition dates had passed, so the appeal was moot with no practical effect, and there were no prospects of success. The court was unimpressed that the city raised a brand new version that the booking was confirmed in error for the first time at the leave stage. A party is held to the case it made on the papers. Well, that was Court Report for this month. To keep abreast of important judgments, be sure to hit the subscribe button below, and until next time, goodbye.